Have you ever imagined what happens when a millionaire goes undercover and uncovers secrets so cruel they shake even the hardest heart? Today, I, Mr. Millionaire, infiltrated my own company and caught something that left me speechless. My manager, someone I considered a pillar of trust, humiliating an employee over a pair of worn-out sneakers, laughing as if a person's dignity was a joke. What he didn't know was that I was there, lurking in the shadows, watching every detail, ready to reveal my identity and teach a lesson that will mark his life forever. Can money buy respect? Or does true character only show when no one's watching? Stay until the end, because this story will turn your worldview upside down. Before we dive in, I want you to grab a copy of my special guide, The Secret of the Rich, 7 Steps to Financial Abundance. It's in the first pinned comment or the video description. This ebook is the roadmap to transform your life, guiding you to evolve spiritually, achieve your physical, mental, and financial goals, and live with purpose. Don't let this opportunity slip away. If you believe stories like this can change lives, subscribe to the MR Millionaire channel now, give this video a big thumbs up, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming stories of justice and lessons that will tug at your heartstrings. Let's embark on this journey together. I am Mr. Millionaire, the vigilante of financial justice, a millionaire entrepreneur who decided to use his fortune to test people's hearts and help those who truly deserve it. My mission is simple but powerful: to reveal who people are when they think no one is watching. Because, as I always say, the true wealth is in who you are when no one sees. Today, I decided to conduct a social experiment in my own company, a place where I expect respect, humility, and empathy to be the foundation of everything. But will that be what I find? Or will I uncover a truth that makes me question everything? My target was Mr. Richard, the manager of one of my largest branches. Richard is known for his efficiency and for always delivering impressive results, but also for his arrogant and authoritarian demeanor. I wanted to know, does he treat everyone with respect, regardless of their position, appearance, or status? To find out, I disguised myself as John, a new janitor. I chose a humble look, a faded t-shirt, ripped jeans, and a pair of old sneakers with cracked soles, loose stitching, and even a hole at the toe. A worn-out backpack and a cap covering half my face completed the disguise. I was unrecognizable, ready to observe every move, every word. I arrived at the company before dawn, with the sky still dark. The security guard at the entrance gave me a disdainful look, barely hiding a smirk, but let me in after checking my name on the list. Richard greeted me in his office, sitting in a swivel chair, with a smile that was more sarcastic than welcoming. He handed me a broom and said, with a tone dripping with superiority, "Welcome, John. I hope you know how to sweep properly, because there's no room for laziness here. If you need tips, just ask, but I bet you've got this down, right?" I nodded, keeping my head low, but I could already feel the weight of his judgment. He didn't see an employee, he saw a pair of old sneakers and decided who I was. While sweeping the main hallway, I noticed Richard talking with a group of employees. He was pointing at me, laughing loudly, and I slowly approached, pretending to clean a nearby table. That's when I heard, "Look at this newbie's sneakers. Looks like he grabbed them from a dumpster. Who has the nerve to show up to work like that? This isn't a charity." The others laughed, some awkwardly, others just following the boss's lead. But one employee, Peter, a young stock clerk organizing boxes nearby, stayed silent. His eyes were fixed on the floor, and I noticed his sneakers were worn out too, with the sole peeling and the sides torn. He lowered his head, as if Richard's words were a direct hit to his chest. I kept working, but kept Richard in my sights. Throughout the day, I saw him treat employees unequally. He was all smiles with those who flattered him, praising even their smallest achievements, but with others, especially the humbler ones, he was cold, arrogant, almost cruel. He barked orders like a king, interrupted people mid-sentence, and made a point of calling out mistakes publicly, as if it reinforced his authority. But what really hit me was the lunch break. Peter was sitting alone in a corner of the cafeteria, eating a simple meal: rice, beans, a piece of chicken, and a banana. He seemed to be trying to blend into the background, but Richard walked by with two other employees, his apparent favorites. In a voice loud enough to grab everyone's attention, Richard said, "Wow, Peter, with those sneakers and that lunch, you look like a beggar. Want me to toss you some change for new shoes or at least a decent meal?" He laughed, and the two employees joined in, as if it were a brilliant joke. The cafeteria went silent for a moment, and all eyes turned to Peter. He tried to smile, but his eyes were teary. He mumbled something, closed his lunchbox, and left quickly, leaving half his food behind. At that moment, I felt a rage that nearly made me break my cover right there. How could someone use their position to humiliate another person like that, turning someone's vulnerability into a punchline? I knew I had to act, but I decided to wait. I wanted more evidence to see how far Richard would go. I kept watching. At the end of the shift, he called Peter in front of all the employees leaving. With a sarcastic tone that turned my stomach, he said, "Peter, try to show up tomorrow with less ridiculous sneakers, okay? This is a serious company, not a flea market. If you want, I can point you to a thrift store." The others laughed, some uncomfortably, but no one stood up to him. Peter, red with shame, just nodded and left with his shoulders slumped, as if carrying the weight of the world. I spent the night thinking about what I'd seen. Richard wasn't just arrogant. He used his power to belittle others, to feel bigger at the expense of their dignity. He had no idea the real boss was there, watching everything, noting every word, every laugh. I decided it was time to reveal my identity and teach a lesson that not only Richard, but everyone in the company would never forget. The next day, I returned to the company, but this time without a disguise. I walked in wearing an impeccable suit, polished shoes, and a gold watch gleaming on my wrist. The security guard, who had barely glanced at me the day before, now rushed to open the door and even tried to make small talk. I requested a meeting with all employees in the conference room, no details given. Richard, upon seeing me, went pale as a ghost. He tried to approach with a nervous smile. Mr. Millionaire, what an honor. I didn't know you were coming today. How can I assist?" I just nodded with a stern look and said, "Let's go to the meeting, Richard. We have a lot to discuss." If you following this story and want to learn how to transform your financial and spiritual life, don't forget to grab your copy of The Secret of the Rich, 7 Steps to Financial Abundance. It's in the first pinned comment or the video description. This guide will show you the path to achieving your dreams, finding balance, and living with purpose. Go get it now. And if you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe to the MR Millionaire channel, like the video, and hit the bell icon. We have plenty more stories of justice and transformation to share with you. Let's do this together. In the conference room, the employees were seated, curious, some whispering. Richard, at the end of the table, tried to look confident, but his hands were shaking as he held a pen. I started by talking about the importance of respect, humility, and empathy in a company. I said I believe in leaders who inspire by example, who lift people up instead of tearing them down. Then I dropped the bombshell. Yesterday, I spent the entire day here, disguised as a new employee, and what I saw left me deeply disappointed, not just as the owner of this company, but as a human being. The room fell completely silent. Richard swallowed hard, his face pale, his eyes wide. I continued. I saw a manager, who should be a role model, humiliating an employee over a pair of old sneakers. I saw him laugh, mock, and get others to laugh along, while someone who works hard every day, who gives their all for this company, was treated like garbage. That employee was Peter, and the manager was you, Richard. All eyes turned to Richard. He tried to defend himself, stammering, his voice trembling. I didn't know it was you. It was just a joke, I swear. I didn't mean any harm." I raised my hand, cutting him off. "Richard, the problem isn't that it was me. The problem is that you think it's okay to judge someone by their clothes, their sneakers, their lunch. You think being a manager gives you the right to humiliate those beneath you, to make jokes at the expense of their struggles. But you know what I've learned as a millionaire? The true wealth is in who you are when no one sees. The silence was so thick you could hear people breathing. I called Peter to the center of the room. He came forward, shy, still wearing the same worn-out sneakers, staring at the floor. I asked, "Peter, why do you keep coming to work in these sneakers, even knowing people might laugh at you?" He took a deep breath, his voice shaky but steady. "Because I give my best here, sir. These sneakers are the only ones I have, but they get me to work every day. I work to support my mom, who's fighting cancer, and to pay for my younger brother's college. I don't care what people say as long as I can help my family." Everyone's eyes filled with tears. Some employees started clapping for Peter, who turned red, unsure how to react. I pulled an envelope from my pocket and handed it to him. "Peter, here's a bonus for your effort and dedication. And starting today, you'll take a leadership course paid for by the company. I want you as the manager of this branch because you have what really matters: character, humility, and a heart that inspires." Peter, overcome with emotion, held the envelope with trembling hands and whispered a barely audible, "Thank you." The room erupted in applause, with employees clapping and even whistling. I turned to Richard, who was slumped in his chair, his face buried in his hands. "You, Richard, will go back to being a regular employee, and you'll only move up again when you prove you've learned to respect people, no matter who they are or what they wear. Until then, I want you to learn from Peter what it means to be a true leader. And to start, you'll apologize to him, right now, in front of everyone." Richard lifted his head, his eyes red. He stood, hesitant, and looked at Peter. "Peter, I messed up. I'm sorry for everything I said, for the jokes. I didn't mean to hurt you." His voice was low but sincere. Peter just nodded with a faint smile and said, "It's okay, sir. I just hope this doesn't happen to anyone else." Peter's response was like a punch to Richard's gut, and he sat back down, defeated. Before wrapping up, I looked at everyone in the room and said, "Never forget, the true wealth is in who you are when no one sees. Money can buy new sneakers, luxury cars, designer clothes, but only character builds a life of value. Treat people with respect, with empathy, because that's what makes you truly rich. And know that I'll always be watching, because this company isn't just about profits, it's about people." After the meeting, I spoke with Peter privately. He shared more about his story. His mother, who's been battling cancer for 2 years, needs expensive treatment. His younger brother, who dreams of becoming an engineer, relies on Peter to pay for college. I decided to go beyond the bonus. I called my lawyer right then and there and ensured the company would cover his mother's full treatment and provide a full scholarship for his brother. Peter broke down in tears, clutching the envelope like it was the most precious thing in the world. He said, "Sir, I never imagined something like this could happen. You've changed my life." I just smiled and replied, "No, Peter, you've changed mine. Keep being who you are, because that's the true wealth." As for Richard, he spent the following days quiet, working as a regular employee without complaint. I heard from other employees that he started treating everyone with more respect, even asking Peter for advice on how to improve. I don't know if he'll truly change, but I know the lesson he got will stick with him forever. And I'll be watching, because my work as MSR Millionaire never stops. This story is a reminder for all of us. We live in a world where appearances deceive, where money is often mistaken for value. But what really matters is who you are when no one's watching. It's how you treat the doorman, the waiter, your co-worker. It's the respect you offer, even when there are no cameras, no rewards. It's the empathy you carry, even when the world tells you it doesn't matter. Because in the end, the true wealth is in who you are when no one sees. If this story moved you, don't miss the chance to transform your life with The Secret of the Rich. 7 Steps to Financial Abundance. Grab your copy now in the first pinned comment or the video description. This guide will help you find balance between health, spirituality, and financial prosperity, and live with purpose. Don't wait. If this story lit a spark in your heart, made you pause to reflect on what truly matters in life, and inspired you to be a better person, then don't let this moment slip away. Subscribe to the MR Millionaire channel right now. Hit that red subscribe button, give this video a massive thumbs up, and click the bell icon to ensure you never miss any of our incredible upcoming stories of justice, soul-stirring lessons, and moments so powerful they'll completely reshape how you see the world. But don't stop there. Share this video with everyone you know. Send it to your friends, your family, your co-workers, that WhatsApp group that needs a dose of impact. Post it on your Instagram stories, Facebook, TikTok. Tag that person who needs to hear this story and feel this energy of change. Let's make this message of respect, empathy, and true wealth go viral. Together, we can create a massive movement, a chain of good that spreads these lessons to every corner of the planet, showing that character, kindness, and humility will always outweigh any fortune. I want you in this mission with me, part of this community that believes the true wealth is in who you are when no one sees. This was another epic chapter in the journey of Mr. Millionaire, the vigilante of financial justice, testing hearts, transforming lives, redefining the power of money, and proving with every action that nothing in the world is greater than integrity, respect, and love for others. Stay tuned, because the next videos will bring even more thrilling stories, lessons that'll make you laugh, cry, and rethink everything, and surprises that'll leave you speechless. So, don't hesitate. Subscribe, share, comment what you thought of this story, and let's spread true wealth across the world together. Until next time, carry this message in your heart to change your life and the lives of those around you.